Love is haunting, and you, Emma, have been the love of my existence. Obsession? Nah, it's devotion. You may not know this, but I've been a silent observer of your life. Your first crush, first kiss, your sweet 16, all me in the shadows. But the nights are my favorite. You dream, and lately, you've started dreaming of me. I love it when we get more intimate in that otherworldly space, don't you? Then you let others into your bed. Boyfriends, girlfriends. Each one of them a stain on what we could have. My jealousy boils. I want them gone, and they vanish. Remember Bob? Heart failure in his sleep. Then there was Stephanie, who dozed off at the wheels. Instant death. And then let's not forget about Tony. Never woke up from a coma. All on nights that were meant for us. You've changed. You're always tired now. Sleep, once a relief, now scares you. You think it's just stress, but you had a dream recently. A nightmare that left you trembling. We were there closer than we've ever been. I held you tight. You just didn't know it. I know you went to doctors to figure out what's wrong. They couldn't tell you anything. Oh, but I could. I've been nibbling little bits of your life energy every night, just a taste here and there. My little appetizer before the main course. You've tried it all, even some weird spiritual stuff. It makes me laugh, seriously. It feels like a part of you is already gone, doesn't it? Maybe that part is already with someone who loves you deeply. Someone who's been watching over you for a lifetime. Your dreams are getting worse. Scary faces, loud noises, feeling lost. The last one was particularly sweet. You woke up, eyes wide open, scared and sweaty. But you couldn't move, could you? Yes, that was a special treat. From me to you. I climbed up to your bed, laying on top of you, hugging you tight. I could hear your heart pounding like sweet music. Your lungs were gasping for air. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I hug you too tightly? I could feel that you were trying to see my charming face. I didn't want you to see me, though. At least, not yet. Tonight, you're trying something new. You're at a sleep doctor's office, hooked up to a bunch of machines. But they won't find anything. Trust me, I've been there. Not as a patient, but as an observer, if you get my drift. Tonight is different, though. I've waited long enough. I'm tired of just taking a little bit of your energy. I want it all. What's mine is mine. What are they doing to you? Lying in this stupid, sterile bed, electrodes taped to your scalp, heart monitors attached to your chest. Your eyes are getting heavy. You're struggling to stay awake. Why fight it? I'm here to take care of you. Go ahead, drift off. That's right. You think you wake up still in bed, but the room is so dark it's like you're wrapped in it. You try to move, but your limbs feel like they're bound in invisible chains. You're paralyzed. You poor thing. Your eyes are the only things you can move. You feel your breath shallow. Each inhalation is difficult. The heart monitor is beeping faster now. You feel like something heavy is sitting on your chest, making you feel like you're suffocating. Yep, that'd be me. I'm on top of you with my hands and knees, crushing your lungs. What did you want to say? You can't breathe? That's the whole point, my love. What are those dark shapes moving in the room that look like dark arms and fingers? Oh, they're all part of me. Yes, I'm all over you. You had wanted to see my face. Here I am. I look almost like human, but better. My eyes are like two glowing coals. Aren't they neat? Oh, don't try to scream. You can't. Your heart is beating so fast that the heart monitor's going crazy. You silly girl. The monitor sounds like it's about to explode. I can feel your desperation, your primal need for oxygen. But that's the thing, my love. Your life is no longer yours. It belongs to me now. Oh, listen. Can you hear that? That's the beautiful hum of the flatline. Why are you looking at me like that? Those wide eyes, they're so cute. Finally, you're mine. The doctors will find no cause, no explanation. You'll be another unexplained medical tragedy. Your face will fill news stories, haunting the public for a brief moment before they move on. But I won't. I'll carry you with me, your essence integrated into my very being. Welcome home, Emma, a place where we can be together, forever. We had just moved to this little town, where the sun never seemed to take a break, about an hour away from Seville. My adoptive parents and I were all set for a brand new beginning. The streets were made of bumpy stones and ran between old, worn-out houses that had lost their color from years of weathering. The trees were super old olive trees, and they stood like guards, making long shadows that danced in the hot air of the afternoon. The sky looked like a painting of bright oranges and reds as the sun went down, giving everything a magical feeling. But what really got my attention was this sound, slicing through the calm like a sharp knife. The sad and mournful cry wasn't like any sound I had ever heard before. It started off quiet, like the hum of a cello, and then gradually got louder and sharper. It was kind of creepy, like a voice trapped underwater, desperately trying to break free. If sorrow had a sound, this would be it, like a mother losing her child, or a soul screaming from the depths of darkness. It went back and forth between sadness and anger, wrapping around my thoughts so tight that I couldn't think of anything else. Even after it stopped, the cry lingered in the air, like a haunting tune that imprinted itself deep in my heart and left me feeling unsettled. Mom said it was just the wind playing tricks. Dad thought it was just some animal. But as we unloaded boxes from the truck, the sound swelled in the distance, floating over the rooftops, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this place was hiding something. The first week in the new town had been weird. The kids at school had avoided me as if I had cooties or something. Nobody talked about the crying sound at night. They just looked away when I asked. That same earthy, metallic smell hit me every time I walked past the old church on my way home. It lingered for a second, then vanished. Creepy, right? Every night, the crying got louder, and now there were whispers, real low, so I could barely hear them. My folks said it was nothing, but they looked worried. Strange stuff happened in the house too. Windows opened by themselves, and it felt like something cold brushed past me, even when all the doors were closed. And the shadow. I saw it every night, gliding past my window. Didn't know what it was, but it gave me the creeps. My classmates avoided eye contact, especially when I brought up the strange occurrences. They knew something, but they weren't telling. After 2 weeks of being tormented by curiosity, I found myself irresistibly drawn to the haunting cries one evening. They led me to the river, where the water looked like an inkwell, impossibly dark, hiding secrets. By the moonlight, I saw her, a figure near the water's edge, garbed in tattered white robes, her long hair floating around her as if suspended in water. She was facing away from me, but the sound of her wails, her sobs, were now vivid, as if they were bleeding from her very soul. Summoning courage, I cleared my throat and softly uttered, "Hola?" No response. "Hola?" I tried again, louder this time. Still nothing. As I took tentative steps closer, my feet squished into the cold, damp ground beneath me. Nearly within arm's reach, I extended my hand to touch her. She vanished, dissipating into the mist rising from the river. That's when I heard it, a soft whisper that felt like a caress, saying, "I'm your real mother." Shocked, I froze. I had never considered the possibility before, but deep down, a part of me had always wondered about my biological parents. A million thoughts raced through my mind, each one more confusing than the last. When I got home, I couldn't even look my adoptive parents in the eye without thinking about the haunting figure by the river. Could she really be my biological mother? Days went by, and the haunting experience by the river loomed over me like a dark cloud. My sleep was broken by nightmares of a woman in tattered robes, her cry echoing endlessly. And each morning, my adoptive parents seemed to age a little more, their faces creased with an unspoken worry that something was deeply wrong. So, I decided to do some digging into the history of this itty-bitty town, mostly out of curiosity, but also because it kind of scared me. The old librarian, with fingers stained yellow from handling dusty old books, pointed me to the section on local history. I stumbled upon this book called Legends and Lore of Our Land. As I flipped through its ancient pages, I came across a story about La Llorona, the sobbing lady. According to the legend, she was a mom who went crazy and drowned her kids before offing herself. Now her spirit roamed around, crying her eyes out. And get this, she was apparently out to find the kids she lost. That night, I went home totally freaked out by what I had learned from the library. But all I could hear were her cries, growing louder and scarier by the minute. I couldn't resist any longer. There was something about her haunting wails that drew me in. It was like a siren song, messing with my head, making everything feel dreamlike. I was totally hypnotized. My feet felt weightless as I got closer and closer to her, stepping into the freezing water that welcomed me with open arms. She reached out her hand, inviting me to join her in her never-ending sadness. Just then, a piercing scream cut through the haze. My name was yelled out in a desperate, broken way. "Stop! Come back to us! We love you so much!" Those words shattered the spell instantly. Suddenly, I saw the watery pit I was standing in, felt the coldness creeping into my bones, and realized the everlasting sadness that was waiting for me if I took her hand. I turned my back on La Llorona and sprinted toward the voices of my real family, the people who had raised and loved me. With a heartbreaking scream, she vanished, consumed by her own eternal sorrow. I was enveloped in warm hugs, my parents' tears mixing with the rain as we made our way back home, leaving behind a legend that was all too freaking real. Alex grips the steering wheel as they drive down a winding forest road, the scent of pine filling the car. The colors of the setting sun dapple through the trees, casting a warm glow inside. Jamie, her best friend, sits in the passenger seat. Even though she can't hear, she's all smiles and hand gestures, signing about how awesome tonight's campfire is going to be, and how they have to roast marshmallows until they're just the right kind of gooey. As they approach their destination, a haunting melody wafts through the car windows, so subtle it might just be the wind through the leaves. They both dismiss it, caught up in their weekend camping dreams. It's a choice they don't know they'll regret, but they're about to find out. They set up camp near the lake's edge, fire crackling nearby. The area is tranquil, just the kind of secluded spot that makes camping unforgettable. Jamie notices the sunset reflecting off the lake's still surface. She can feel the fire's comforting pulse through the ground. The air smells like pine and fresh earth. Near the lake's center, a cluster of water lilies stands out, almost glowing. They captivate both girls, drawing their attention magnetically. Jamie and Alex sit down on their colorful picnic blanket next to the lake. They take out sandwiches and apples. Jamie is busy signing about how she can't wait to try kayaking tomorrow. She looks super excited. Alex watches Jamie, her eyes twinkling. But then the atmosphere changes. Her ears pick up an haunting melody, so faint, it's like whispers carried on a breeze. The music is giving her an almost otherworldly sense of peace. Her eyes fix on the water lilies in the center of the lake. They look unreal, glowing a soft blue, like tiny lanterns on the water. She feels like she's floating, and without even thinking, she starts walking towards them, like she is in some sort of a trance. Her feet softly hitting the water, walking deeper and deeper into the lake. Jamie, sensing something is not right, notices the lilies too. They don't give her the same peaceful feeling. Instead, they make her uneasy. She glances back and sees Alex. She's already stepping into the water, about to go chest deep. Jamie's eyes widen, and she rushes, practically diving to grab Alex's arm and pull her back. She signs quickly. "What are you doing? We need to go back." The dreamy haze around Alex breaks. She looks at Jamie, the calming feeling replaced by a lump of worry in her stomach. They both hurry back to their blanket, spooked by what just happened. Jamie and Alex shake off the creepy vibes and decide to explore around the lake. They start walking on the forest trail that skirts the water. Alex hears a faint whimpering sound coming from the edge of the lake, near the tree line. She taps Jamie on the shoulder and points toward the noise. Jamie looks over and spots a tiny puppy that appears half-drowned and struggling near the shore. Jamie's eyes soften, and she signs, "I have to help it." She takes off toward the puppy. While Jamie's attention is on the struggling pup, Alex's eyes drift back to the lake. This time, the haunting melody returns, louder and more enchanting than before. The water lilies glow even brighter, pulsing in tune with the music. A silhouette of a man holding a violin starts to take form in the middle of the lake. To Alex, the music is irresistible. She starts walking into the water again, her body wading deeper and deeper, water up to her neck, eyes fixated on the man with the violin. Jamie reaches the puppy, but just as she does, it vanishes before her eyes, turning into ripples that dash back toward the deep lake. Confused and alarmed, Jamie turns around to see Alex already in the middle of the lake, water nearly covering her completely. Jamie's heart races. Alex is almost fully submerged, drifting towards the mysterious figure holding the violin in the middle of the lake. What the hell is that? A man? A creature? Jamie's mind whirls with questions she can't answer. She opens her mouth to scream, straining her vocal cord to try to call out to Alex, but she can only manage to make some form of a muffled shout, a sound that's nowhere near loud enough to reach Alex. Her hands curl into fists, her whole body tense with the frustration of not being able to communicate the way she so desperately needs to right now. Ignoring everything else, Jamie rushes into the water, her legs battling against the pull of the lake. Every step feels like wading through molasses, and her dread mounts with each passing second. Just as she gets closer, she catches a last glimpse of the creature. Its lips curl into a smile, creepy, satisfied, as if it has accomplished something unfathomable. Then, both Alex and the creature disappear into the water, like shadows melding into the darkening lake. Jamie reaches the spot where she last saw Alex. Without a second thought, she dives into the water, eyes wide open, searching, but there's nothing. She resurfaces, gasping for air, dives again. Still, nothing. Alex is gone. Overwhelmed, Jamie breaks the water's surface, her eyes full of tears that blend indistinguishably with the lake. Her hands clench, unclench, as if grasping for something, anything. But she's alone, awash in the fading light, her despair as vast and endless as the water around her.